for an educational and informative program, Meet the Opposition. Participate in exciting discussions from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Be in the know every Thursday on Rev Up St. Lucia 97.1 from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m.
Without further ado, let us say good morning to the host of Meet the Opposition, Nancy Charles. Ms. Charles, welcome.
Good morning, Andre.
Tell us about your incident. I'm sure the listeners and viewers are curious to know exactly what happened.
Oh, my people, my vehicle I stopped at the petrol station in Dennery. I put in some fuel. And as I'm about to climb the bar lane, I just said, like the vehicle does, I just pull on the side very quickly.
Good for you.
And you should see me, Andre, opening the bonnet as if I know anything to do with vehicles.
So when you looked in there, what did you see? What did you see that
oh my God. I thought I saw something that looked like oil, and I was like, oh, to me, all these oil thing wasn't there. And all these spots wasn't there. But quite a few people stopped. I am very grateful.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a few people stopped to help me out. And then one of them, who was a mechanic where he worked in a garage, he said to me it must be the fuel pump that must have gone bad, etc. And so I called my husband, and he left work with a mechanic. And look, he's trying to call me. And so I don't know. Well, God is good. I'm here. Yes. We're going to have a shortened version of the show.
Yes.
But we're going to do what we can. All right. So I'm hoping
I see you there thinking about what you're saying. You're there
I'm just typing away.
Typing. It's like three things at one time.
Yes, I'm trying to multitask. Okay, done. I've shared the live. I've shared the links with everybody. I think my husband is trying to call me. He doesn't realize that I'm here already, that I'm on air. But I left the vehicle, and I told him to take care of the vehicle and do whatever he has to do. So he will message me and let me know, Andre.
Thank God for husbands.
Yes, thank God for husbands. Thank God for spouses, boyfriends who are reliable,
That's right.
whoever they are,
That's right.
We're very grateful. But St. Lucia, I want to thank you. I did get quite a few calls and messages as well saying, do we have the show this morning? Yes, we have the show this morning. Even if before we begin, I do want to say thank you so much for your support. I got a message last week, Andre, from some friends in Tiwoshe and in Lacoville, that's in Mikud, and they said to me, I'm not speaking enough Creole on the show, and I have to tell you, I have to blame Andre for that. Andre doesn't understand Creole very well. I do. I just
don't speak it.
I was going to use you as an excuse.
No. I just can't speak it fluently.
But
like
apparently we have a huge Creole audience, so I will try my best when I explain certain things to also explain it to you in Creole as well, so that you can get it, and so forth. Right. So, our friends in Canada, they had their gala on the weekend, Andre. I do want to say thank you for the support that was given. It was a massive turnout. We had our political leader, our deputy political leader, and our party chairman up there in Canada. So it went very well. I saw the pictures. I know they were missing me, Andre, but I think I'm here.
Duty calls.
Yes. So today we have a shortened version of the program as well. In addition to the fact that I'm late, we also have to stop maybe about 10:15, 10:20 thereabout. As you would know, St. Lucia, we have T20, ICC T20 cricket going on. And Rev Up St. Lucia, I see, the most modern and best station in St. Lucia for now. They are the one live streaming all the cricket action in the region as well, Andre?
That's correct.
Right. So we have to shorten our version today.
Yeah, because the cricket is at 10:30 this morning.
Right.
Afghanistan versus
India.
Who? India.
Okay. Right. And then there was cricket here last night. Massive.
Right.
I think everybody had a wonderful, wonderful time. I hope. Somebody asked me, did you go to cricket? I said, I have not been able to muster the courage to sit in traffic for 2 hours when I'm leaving. Going is very easy, but after the match, you may have to be in traffic for 2 hours trying to maneuver your way out of Boseju, and then I have to drive all the way to Viewfort to home. I'm still thinking about it, St. Lucia, so if I do decide to make that trip, I'll let you know. But Andre, a lot has happened this week. I'm going to try to get it over very quickly. I don't know if we'll have time to take some calls, but if we do, we'll take a few calls. But I just wanted to update you on some of the things that has happened this week, St. Lucia, on Meet the Opposition. And one of them is that the DPP held press conference yesterday. Very interesting press conference. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at it.
I certainly have.
Andre. I didn't see anything impactful or significant. I think it was important that he updated the nation on a lot of pending, at least most of the pending police or alleged police shootings, and maybe one or two ongoing murder cases or unresolved murder cases. I did listen to the media houses and some of the questions that they asked him. And St. Lucia, I think if anybody from the DPP's office is listening, this should not be something that the public has to clamor for it and then for you to do it. This should be something that perhaps maybe every quarter or every biannually or something like that, that you know or you expect that the DPP's office is going to have a press briefing to update the nation as to where we're at with certain critical issues in our courts and in our justice system. And so at the end of the day, whilst people are already frustrated, I mean, I did listen, Andre, if you listen to the interview, for example, the mother of the young lady who was murdered in her home. When I listened to that mother asking the DPP certain questions, and unfortunately, the DPP was trying to stop her to say, you listen, I can't go there, this kind of thing. You could understand the level of frustration that she was going through, because it felt like everywhere she turned, every office she went to, and that was really what she was saying, everywhere she turned, every office she went to, she was being sidelined, stopped. I don't know, they were just giving her stories that didn't add up or that didn't match up or something like that. So at the end of the day, it was very, very, very frustrating. So
you said nothing significant came out?
Well, for me, because most of what he said we had already heard before. So for example, we had already heard from sometime last year that the DPP had already made the recommendations. Now I want to get my words correct. I think he had already made the recommendations for at least the two alleged police shootings that he spoke about, for these matters, for these officers to be either arrested or brought in for further questioning or something like that, to that extent. And it was said that it was not acted upon. And I listened to one of the reporters asking him, when exactly did you make that recommendation? He went to great lengths to avoid it, but we knew that from last year, Andre, the office of the DPP had made the recommendation to the Commissioner of Police to take those type of actions. So that's why I'm saying I didn't hear, it wasn't like something new for me, maybe for other St. Lucians, you understand? For me, the concerning issue, and I do have to say, when I listened to him, it wasn't a new issue. So the United Workers' Party is partly to blame, because when we came in, we were the one who instituted the office of the DPP. I do know that we did a lot of work in upgrading that office in terms of equipment. We had an agreement with the US government, so they did give a lot of new equipment and things like that. But in terms of staffing, I cannot say definitively that under UWP he had gotten additional staffing, so I don't want to give wrong information. But this is one of the critical areas that he continued to say is of serious concern, because you have a department and you need about 13 prosecutors and you don't even have half that number. So at the end of the day, if we're serious about justice, and I've said that many times, it is not right, and it may not necessarily be the only reason, But one of the many reasons why people feel they can take the law into their own hands, Andre, is because they feel when they go to the court, they do not get a satisfactory response. Justice is being delayed over and over and over again, etc. And so they try to take that type of vengeance on their own, and they try to do things on their own because they feel that the state is not assisting. Now, these are the basic things. Staffing. If, for example, a government, and so I'm not going to label Labour or whoever, but if a government decide, okay, we don't have money to put 20 or to staff the full 13 right away, but if in your budget every year you allocate for 1 extra staff, do you know that within the 5 years you would have put in at least an additional 5 more staffing? So over a period of 10 years, you would now, equip. And if you do have the wherewithal, you can say, okay, I'll do 2 a year or something like that. Because Rome wasn't built in a day. But it's nothing. So for me, these were some of the things. He also indicated that his office was without air conditioning for a year and 6 months, Andre. There was mold, there was this all kind of issues, so they couldn't work properly, etc. So all these little things, they're just troubling. However, for me, the most critical thing about it is the fact that the DPP did not say it like that, but it sounded that the Commissioner of Police was either very incompetent or too busy to deal with the things that matter to the people. Apparently, that commissioner is always out, always traveling, always all over the place. And so you see it is the deputy commissioner who's always running the show. And this is the same gentleman who has all these allegations made against him. And this is the same gentleman that the commissioner indicated that she's going to institute some policy, etc. And nothing has been done about it. Now, I know for sure that her contract will be ending very soon and she will be leaving. And then look now, the DPP said he has forwarded all these things to the commissioner and no action. So we need to ask the commissioner why. Andre, as a media personnel, when was the last time there was a press conference with the commissioner?
I can't think of any time.
Exactly. In the States and in other countries, civilized countries, anytime there's a murder, the commissioner of police from that particular area, if it's a state or county or whatever, they come out. Senior people come out and they do a press briefing. They give you information. The media is able to ask them questions. When was the last time? Last weekend we had, was it four murders? I can't recall any senior member. It's still the same little press officer that come and say something. Right. This is crazy. That is disrespectful. So I want to say to the commissioner, you are making it very difficult for women in this country, and especially for women within the police force, to be promoted to a higher rank because your level of either incompetence or pamele attitude, because you probably only had their temporary. So when pamele na hin la hamwe talent party na retire so mana ye pufe. When you retire, remember the reputation of the women folks who would be following or would want to follow your footsteps. It's creating problems for us, because then they'll say we have, in my opinion, this has been the most incompetent commissioner of police, men, women, otherwise. And so if any government may say, decide they want to promote another woman's commissioner, you will be the standard that will be judged by. And people may say, boy, the last woman commissioner of police did nothing, so I don't think we'll put another woman there. And so it makes it difficult and challenging for women. But women who are at the helm of institutions, I'm saying to you all, you guys are the one who's bringing us closer to breaking that glass ceiling that we keep speaking about. Set the tone, set the example.
I was thinking, if you listen to the rhetoric coming from, especially the Police Welfare Association, every time they seem to want to rally around each other, the police officers, right? You never hear anything sounding impartial coming from the police officers, especially from the Police Welfare Association. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next few days, because if you said, and to be honest with you, I didn't even know that the DPP had already made that recommendation before.
He did.
This is the first time I'm actually hearing it. When I read it this morning, that they're asking in at least 2 instances for the officers to be arrested and being brought to question. And I'm saying, how is that going to happen? How will that happen in the police force when you have most of the members there who are rallying around each other?
Well, the law is the law, and I am not a police officer, so I'm not au courant with the processes and the procedures. But I am assuming, or I have to assume, that in that instance, the police officer has to be treated just like an ordinary citizen who will be brought in for questioning, who will be arrested and charged for questioning. So one of the recommendations as well, or one of the issues that came up, was the issue of police investigating police. And the DPP had said that his recommendation was for there to be a separate investigative department or investigative team to investigate the police. So they may not necessarily be police officers, but separate people who can investigate the police. And so it shows some semblance of impartiality.
I don't know why they've taken so long to do that.
Well,
you have you ever heard of Indicom in Jamaica?
Yes,
that's exactly what they do.
Yes.
As to why we've taken so long.
I don't know. Somebody somewhere doesn't want it to happen, Andrew.
Obviously, because you said you heard the DPP make that recommendation a long time ago.
Last year, that was made already. That's nothing new.
Because when you said insignificant, I said, how come that could be insignificant?
Yeah, because I've been there before, been there, done that, heard that. Anyway,
well, we better be careful we don't get another Leahy law being thrown at us. Yeah.
But I am saying to the commissioner, and I am also sending a strong message to the Prime Minister, do not think that the allegations about the deputy commissioner will go away. I know that you all have a don't care attitude. You all can talk whatever you want, and the Prime Minister has tried to justify, to say nobody has come forward, drama, whatever, because that's his guy. That's the person he wants to put there. I am saying to you, Madam Commissioner, do something about this to investigate this before you leave. If you have done nothing else, at least do this so that you can be talked about something positively. Because I can guarantee you, if you leave without doing that, there's nothing to talk about you. Absolutely nothing. So make your mark. All right? Make your mark. Andre, as well, we had Parliament this week. Boy, Andre, let me tell you something. I spoke to a friend of mine who's a Labour Party person. And I said to him, tell me honestly, when we were in government, because maybe I was not being mindful of it, because I was being biased and we were in government, so I was not following maybe the debates in that regard. But I said to him, when we were in government, tell me, did we spend the entire 5 years or 3 years or 2 years and every day it was Labour or Kenny or something like that? And he said to me, Nancy, honestly, initially, there were a lot of things that you all continue to remind people and blame the Labour Party. But for the better part of the times you all were in Parliament, you all were more or less defending your policies when you all came to Parliament, debating the issues, debating the policies, etc. And it wasn't so much about Labour did this, Labour did that. And why did I ask that person that question? Because, Andre, frankly speaking, St. Lucians are tired of it. They are tired of every single Tuesday there is a parliamentary debate that it is about Chasney. I mean, the worst things you can think of to say. How do you expect an individual to feel, Andre, when every time you get an opportunity to speak about an issue, you are insulting this person, you are denigrating this person, you are bringing this person down, and in the same breath, you want to stand up and say, we should unite and we should come together. How is that ever going to happen? It will never happen, because these are human beings and they have feelings. And all I'm saying is, I listen to the debate. I have to listen to the debate, unfortunately, because of my position within the party. We need to listen to some of what is being said to see if there's anything that we need to counter. And there's two things I'm going to counter here today. And so I don't have a choice but to listen. But sometimes I'm like, I'm not listening to that crap. And I want to turn off my television, But you have to. And I'm saying it's tiring. And you even look at the comments. You see it on social media. Young people, or majority of St. Lucians, don't follow what is happening in Parliament anymore because they are sick and tired of its Mepui, Roro, Chasney. Guys, Labour Party, y'all won the election. Y'all are in government. And my advice to you, it's free of charge. Whenever you get an opportunity to speak to the people of St. Lucia, speak to them about your policies and what is it that you are doing for them or not doing for them. So maybe it's because you know you're not doing anything for them, so the only place you can jump on and hop on is on the back of Alan Chasney. Andre, can you imagine? Remember I relayed to you the incident about Alan hopping in the back of the pickup because of the fact that he was giving us a ride. It was Jenny, myself, and Marcella. And we didn't bring our vehicle. We got a right to come to Parliament that day. We didn't bring our vehicle. So when Parliament ended and we were leaving, we said, okay, we'll call somebody to pick up. And Alan said, oh, no, don't worry. Get in the vehicle. I'll just hop in the back of the van. It was just instant reaction for him to say, listen, it's okay. I'm a guy. I can just sit at the back of the vehicle. You ladies go inside. And we did this. And somebody took a picture of Alan. By the time we got to leader of the opposition office, somebody took a video and posted it on social media. Andre, can you imagine? Every single parliamentarian who spoke yesterday, and that's not the first time, mentioned the fact that Alan was at the back of the pickup. Oh, you at the back of a van, you back of the pickup, you're going to Dayglow.
Are you serious?
Every single one of them, Andre. That was disgusting. I was like, really? You'll have nothing else to speak about but the fact that Alan was at the back of a pickup, as if Alan went at the back of the pickup deliberately to get whatever and whatever. You understand? But that's the level of what we're speaking in Parliament. I mean, come on. Yesterday, for me, the debate in Parliament should have been the government. One of the motions they had was to increase the pension. All right? A good thing. And Alan said that as well. It's a good thing. But his point was, y'all have taken so much from St. Lucians that even if you give the pension now, it almost bring it back to level 0. Because after you've already put in a 2.5 tax on the people, the price of groceries have increased, the price of bread has increased, the price of bus fares has gone up, the price of cooking gas has gone up, the price of fuel has gone up. So the little money you're giving them for the pension, it's not an extra money, it's just money to make up for what it is that you have taken so much from them. So why would Alan Chasney not say something like that? And every single person, because Alan spoke almost, I think after Joachim, Bradley, then Alan. Andre, every single, well, let me not say every single one, with the exception of Emma and I think the gentleman from Dennery, every single one of them was about Alan Chasney. Don't talk about Richard. We'll get to him in a while. Richard made an entire presentation and he did not once mention the issue of the pension increase. His entire presentation was on Alan Chasney, and responding to some of the things that Alan said and laying things. Disgusting, Andre. Disgusting. You know, it is shameful and it is embarrassing because we had some students there from the UK who were watching and following, and I said to myself, oh my God, these people must be thinking, what kind of people is this? This is, I mean, what am I coming to Parliament to listen to? Because there was no example being set. There was no debate, because you know what debate is. You bring a point, I bring a point, I counter. I bring in my issues to counter to say why you're wrong, and I'm fine with that. If you want to counter to say, well, Alan Chasney is wrong because we didn't bring the price up and we didn't do that, fine. That is debate. But when you go to personal and you want to go as far as talking about Alan's father and rental of buildings, everybody knows Michael Chasney owns properties all around the island. And this is not UWP that started renting from Michael Chasney, from eons governments before. Remember the lady who called the last time when I spoke about national lotteries and thing, and she was trying to debate that, you know, it wasn't. And I said to her, when we came into government, NLA was already in Colony House. So it wasn't a UWP that put NLA there. We got it there from Labour. And why you want to bring the man's father into this? What does that have to do with that? You understand?
And Nancy, it might sound inconsequential, but I'll tell you something. You know what I miss about the debates? Jokes.
There's no jokes
from
there?
the speaker down. Remember the days you'd get, some real funny things being said in the house.
And everybody laughing, and even them.
Everybody's serious.
No, he's serious now. He's serious.
No, you guys have no sense of humor, nothing.
And hatred. Pure, somebody sent me a message and said to me, boy, Nancy, I think one of these days an ambulance will have to come and take Richard in Parliamentary because that man, Andrea, you could hear him huffing and puffing like he's almost short of breath because he's going as if like, and as if
you say
so
almost, you said almost short of breath.
But you can hear it.
I think he is. I think he is.
He's short of breath. You can hear it. Just to give what? To give Maple. You think that getting you votes, my friend? Okay. All right. But there was a lot of lies and propaganda, Andre. A lot of stuff that was said. And St. Lucia, I want to play you the video. Like I said, we have a shortened version, so I need to try and get this out of the way. We have said over and over and over when it comes to DSH, all right, that the government of St. Lucia, ek mga di sa Creole, pis moi vle moun ko pon sa, ek moi vle ou loutan moun ka pale maji about tiyo akin ek DSH, moi vle ou diyo la verite, ek na mucho la verite a jodia, ok? Le misye tiyo akin vini St. Lisi, misye tiyo akin di that key. Sorry, guys, my husband is messaging me with reference to the vehicle where I bought the fuel. It seems they put some gas in my vehicle before they put the diesel or something like that.
So your vehicle is a diesel engine?
It's a diesel engine. But I did watch. Sorry, it's a little distraction. I did watch because I did see them put in the black hole. But I did see the lady saying something when the fuel started pumping. So I don't know if there was a mixture in their pump or whatever. But they did put in the black holes. But now he's saying, the mechanic says he thinks they put some gas in it. And maybe they change it afterwards. Maybe when they realize the error or something and they change it afterwards. So I'm not sure.
Nancy is the multitasking.
Yes. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Tio Akin, they continue to say that Tio Akin, we gave Tio Akin land. We give Tio Akin 1,000 acres of land because that sounds nice in the ears, okay? And we use our money to buy horses and pay for horses and bring horses down, etc. Because that sounds nice. Because they had a phrase, horses before hospital, yeah? And then they continue, even Ernest Hilaire in his address to the nation, who was very clever in trying to insinuate that Tio Akin sold passport and there was some escrow account and he can't find no information on the escrow account. And like I said to you last week, if you can't find information on it, it's not there, all right? It's not there. It was never there. Tio Akin never sells. So, today, I want you to stop these people from spreading that nonsense. This is pure lies. And what I want you to do is to say to the Labour Party people, tout ça zote ka di about Tio Akin. Zon gouvernement actuellement, ebe produit document pour mouche that ki gouvernement bay Tio Akin la han, ebe bay Tio Akin 1,000 acres of land. Mouche document ki mouche sa.
So you're saying that never happened?
No. Here's what happened, Andre. Tio Akin, when he came and he looked at the land, etc., and he put in the proposal that he wanted to do the racetrack, and he said, with the racetrack, amenities will come around it. So when you have a racetrack, you can have a hotel, you can have supermarket. You know, he was going to create some sort of a village around the area. The agreement that was signed with the government of St. Lucia is that Tio Akin we list with Tio Akin approximately 300 acres of land to build the racetrack. All right?
Nancy is still multitasking. Let me just remind our listeners, this morning at 10:30, we have cricket, T20 World Cup cricket, Afghanistan versus India in Barbados. They're playing in Barbados.
Okay.
Did I help you there? Sorry.
Yes, you did. I'm trying to tell him which petrol station. It's the one in Tamazo. That's where Tamazo is?
Well,
no, the one in
Richford.
Richford.
Mm-hmm. So you think I didn't know? Huh?
Ah!
Yes. Yes, folks. T20 cricket action. Afghanistan versus India, 10:30 this morning. They're playing in Barbados. We're going to be bringing it live right here
at 10:30.
Right.
So the first thing we did, Andre, was we leased to Teoakin approximately 300 acres of land thereabout. Not more, it may be a little bit less. But I'm going to round it off because I think it was about 280 or something like that. But let's round it to 300 acres. And why did we lease the land to him? Because what we said is he will be putting in the infrastructure. So our contribution, because it's almost like, remember I was explaining to you last week when we were talking about the hotel and so forth, something similar. So we will be putting he will be putting the infrastructure, so we contribute in the land and everything around it, of course the country benefits. So we lease the land to him. So what that means, St. Lucia, is if we lease the land, at any point in time, we can take our land back. Lo loué te ba yon moun tue a bay pièce côté. Moun pas sa point te a aller pied. Nou pas vendre te a bay ti wakin nou sam. Nou loué te a bali. A lease is rent. Okay? Nou loué te about 300 ak te bali pou sa fait racetrack la. That's number one.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Why $1? Why is that? Because this is what we are hearing as though, well, we just basically gave away the land for a dollar an acre or something like that. Why $1? Why?
This is something, I think I heard the leader of the opposition explain it. It's something called an emphytic lease, where it is that you're giving somebody like permission, you're giving somebody your land, so that they can build something on it. It's to both of our benefit, but it does not totally belong to the person. But you cannot list something without a value, and that's why you put the $1 value.
So why not $2 or $3 or $5?
I don't know. It's in legal terms. It's always been that $1, which is why.
Also, it's nothing unusual.
No. But I'm just going to. I'm just telling. No, nothing unusual, nothing unethical, because the land that John Peters is going to use in the city for them to use as security to be able to build the structure. They have a lease with government for $1 for that same thing. So that's a standard practice in legal terms, and I'm telling you that again. So lautan yo kadi yo bay ti akin te apu yo rola. That is standard practice. Ça fait toutes les cette liste. Mais yo just fait encore. So kwa mati yo just fait nous ni lease agreement là. Moi bay Andre, but Andre bay sa mucho uli jodia. But we have the lease agreement. Nous ni lease agreement pour halls of justice là yo kay fait Castria. Yo loué terre ko yo kay fait halls of justice là bay compagnie puis compagnie ni pour ni terre pour un bakla yo loué terre bay yo pour yo dollar. It's the same principle. Nothing wrong. And let me tell you, people like Richard, they know that because they are lawyers and they engage in selling land, in leasing land, etc., etc. They know that very well. They know that. But anyway, we leased that portion of land for him, and then the land around he agreed to purchase. But he would not be able to purchase all because there is approximately 1,000 acres of land in total. So he has already leased 300. So the balance of the 600, he would not be able to purchase all of it in bulk. So what they did, Andre, was they apportioned the land, cut it into pieces, lots into lots. They created lots. And every time he's ready to purchase, he will purchase them one lot at a time. Is that understood?
Understood.
One lot at a time, and he would purchase it one lot at a time. So that is what we did with Teo. So,
by the
yesterday...
I'm sorry, I have a question. So what happened to Mr. Teo King? Is he history now?
I don't know. He's still in negotiations with the current government. They're making life very difficult for him. They don't want him. They never have, they never will. But they're pretending and saying they're reviewing the agreement. And what part of the agreement they're reviewing, they can't tell anybody. But that's for another show. So what I want you to play for me is the first video so y'all can hear what Richard said in Parliament. Exercise ka continue fe mati bay moun. To pli nou correct yo still vle mati. Koute ki sa Richard di an parlement ye, ek den nay moucho document. Go ahead, play the
The
clip.
sale where government sold land at 60,000 US an acre, and he can show that the land is currently vested in Tioa King. I will withdraw all statements in relation to this. And I will refrain from going down that route. Because I can tell you, Mr. Speaker, this one is not a fact categoric. This one is a gigantic lie. Tioa King has never bought 1 square foot of land from us. Not a square foot. So let's move on. Let's move on.
Y'all heard that, St. Lucia.
Yeah, he said
I don't know.
King has never bought a square foot
Of land. Now, y'all heard that for yourselves. Now, like I said, I did send to Andre the documents to show, because Richard Movlo koute mwen bon matin. Ek mwen vle demanti ou bon matin. Ek mwen vle do bout, because ou di si nou moucho document ou kay do bout ek ou pa kay jeme di sa anko. That's not what he said, Andre?
That's correct.
So I sent to Andre, but people, I will post it on my social media page
I
as
saw
well.
it. I saw it.
Andre saw it, and I am going to read for you some, not all, but some of the documents that I have where Tio Akin paid for lots in that area. Because remember, I told you he broke down the Invest St. Lucia broke, because the land belonged to Invest St. Lucia. After they leased to him the 300 acres, the balance of the property, which would be about 600 acres thereabout, they broke it into lots, different lots, and anytime he was ready, he would purchase lots. So here's the first one, Andre. I will read to you since Andre cannot show you. It is dated 20th May 2021, and the letter is addressed to Miss Vanessa William, who's the legal secretary of Invest St. Lucia. And it says, Dear Miss William, payment for purchase of block 1219B, parcel 751. We refer to the above our letter to ISL dated 7th April 2021. Please find and close the following. Bank of St. Lucia check number 00021, Bank of St. Lucia check number 0022, number 0023, and number 0026 for US, you heard that? US $109,800. That's US. Being the 90% balance payment for the purchase of block number 1219B, parcel 751, which amounts to 2.04 acres. Okay, St. Lucia? This is one of the letters I'm just reading to you, and it is signed by Mr. N.G. Chichoy, who's the project director for Mr. Tio Akin. That's one of them, Richard. Naivwe oba number mwen se 285-6646. Kouye mwen ek message mwen, di mwen voye se receipt la ba ou. Naivwe oba ou, so kay doubout pale any til. Ek maji, les autres doubout parle men be doubout platform. Il le pour nous doubout se mentez ça ka fait cette lycée. Tio Akin paye l'argent. Premier wisi a mwen just read ba wa $109,000 US. He paid for 2 acres of land, and that's 90%. So the agreement is, Andre, when you show an interest, you pay 10% to show the interest. They prepare the documents for you, and after they've given you your document, you pay the balance of the 90%. So he had already paid his 10% in advance. Now that the documents was ready, his deed of sale, everything was ready, he then paid the balance of the 90%. So, Udi, si yo mucho pièce côté, Tio Akin jamais paye $1 pour pièce cette liste quoi double parler man chose qu'en Here's the receipt today, Richard.
Do you want me to play the clip again?
I don't know. I don't
asking
know.
You, do you want me to play the clip again? Okay.
But here's the second one. This one is 25th of February 2020. So that's even way back in 2020. And this letter was addressed to Miss Adria Sonson, who was the accountant general at the time. And they were sending to Miss Adria Sonson, they were applying for there, because when you purchase land as a foreigner, there is something called an alien landholding license that you are exempted from paying. All right, you have to pay some taxes and fees, etc. But then when you're an alien, or how we call them, somebody who's not a St. Lucian, and depending on the agreement, you are exempted from that. So he was sending this letter, or his company was sending this letter to Adria Sonson in February of 2020, 25th February 2020. And he was saying, we refer to the above executed on 30th of August. So I'm just letting you know, from 30th of August 2019, he had already started purchasing his land. 30th of August 2019, and our recent receipt for the exemption of alien landholding license. Please find enclosed the following check number, because he was paying, I think, for some taxes or whatever. Check number 001 for US $2,635. $2,635, and these were the lot numbers, Andre, that he would have purchased so far. 1017B3, 1.01 acre. 1017B7, 1.3 acres. 1017B9, 11.2 acres. All right, these were lands that he would have purchased already. And I'll just read you a third one. So Richard, if you are listening, or your people are listening, because on a mess. Avant mon commencer par les oka kuye yo. Minan si ka lomenon la. Kuye Richard di minan si ka lomenon la. Ek j'ai dit, oswe a même, peut-être moi vle respond. Naïve post toutes ces récits ça à les social media bali. Naïve mette dans la Facebook page moi. Ek si vle moi habay ni mo di kuye moi naïve voy bali. Moi vle read ces récits ça oswe a. Ek pou mouche la ki tiyo akin pa jamais gen te St. Lucie. C'est ça il dit. Okay? That is when people are lying to you, St. Lucians. And some of you all are gullible and we keep telling you all the truth. Andre, are you alright? That even as I'm reading these receipts, that there's some people who still say, you still can't remember. Okay. I just want you to know.
But you remember the day you and the former tourism minister
was there
and reading information?
Yes, and people were still querying from the thing. Anyway. Yeah. And this one is a letter from McNamara and Company, which would be the lawyers, I think, for Tio Akin. That was the lawyers. And this letter was dated 19th of February 2020. It was addressed to the Attorney General at the time. And the headline was repurchase of 15.11 acres of land by Valorous St. Lucia from the government of St. Lucia as block number 1017B, parcel 2, and 1017B, parcel 3, 83 and 136. All right. And it says that further to the agreement of sale between the government of St. Lucia and Valorous Limited, which is undated regarding the parcels of land totaling 15.1 acres for the purchase price of US 900, has that they purchased the land for US $906,600. So that's over $1 million, over $2 million actually, almost $2 million EC that he paid for the property. Please note the following. We enclose here with the check for the deposit. So they were putting the deposit of the 10% for this land of US $90,660. The agreement for sale should be dated the same day, etc. And it is stamped by the Department of Physical Planning March 10th, 2020. Okay, although it's signed by McNamara, it's also stamped as being received by the Department of Planning. So all this, St. Lucia, I'm just showing you, just to let you know that at the end of the day, when these people try to lie to you, and Richard stood up in Parliament and said, Tio Akin, ou gouvernement, ou Minister of Planning, ou pas jamais fait pièce research, ou pas jamais aller en ministry à des pièce information. Who's the Minister for Invest St. Lucia? Not Ernest Hille. Ernest Hille has never gone to Invest St. Lucia and asked them for information. You think they don't know that, Andre? I can bet you my last dollar that's the first thing on their agenda when they came into government. I want the file for DSH. I want the file for Tio Akin. They have access to all that information, but they refuse to share it with the people and to get people to remain in the ignorance and to pretend that we paid money for horses. Cette lissier, ti yo akin mene chevalier gen chevalier ak l'argent yi. Pièson nan gouvernement pas sa jwen yon ici qui kay mouche côté gouvernement paye $1 pour gen pièce cheval bay ti yo akin. Pa yon. La pani yon ici qui kay mouche cette lissier paye $1 pour faire racetrack la ki la. Ti yo akin spend almost $40 million of his own money to build the racetrack, to build the bands, and to put his stuff together. His money, St. Lucia. So, moi, vle zo double tek maji papi show sa that ki le baka commence do about you akin ek DSH ek horses before hospital. Stop them. Stop that nonsense. The man paid for land. He has his receipts. So a lot of the land you see in Boseju is actually owned by Tioakin that he paid with his own money. He paid for it. And I've read you the receipts. I read you the lawyer's letter. I've given you lot and parcel number. It's 10 o'clock and we have to end soon. All right? I wanted to be able to play that. But the second one I also wanted you to play is something... you have the video, Andre?
No, we're ready.
Okay. So Andre is going to play you the second video. And that one was with the Prime Minister. Remember again, St. Lucia, I told you that we had a copy. I read you the article in Out of Trinidad and Tobago with the costing with this entity. And I also told you that we also had a copy. We got a copy of the list. So play the tape, Andre, and then we'll do this.
Let me tell you the facts, Mr. Speaker. The amortized cost of the House of Justice is $143 million. To be paid over 12 years, $11.9 million per year. The square footage of the House of Justice is 126,345 square feet. The recovery cost is $7.87 per square foot.
Is that it?
That's it? Okay. So, I also sent Andre a copy of the lease agreement, but he couldn't show it to you. And again, I'm going to post that one. Andre, let me tell you something, St. Lucia. I, Nancy Charles, I have no reason to come on a radio station or a television station, a talk show, wherever it is. I have no reason to come and lie to you about anything you know. And I have said to you consistently, Andre, and viewers, listeners, I want you to vote for the United Workers' Party in the next election. But I am not going to spew garbage, lies, things I know that are deliberately untrue just because I want your vote. Because I have seen what it can do, and I'm seeing it right there with the Labour Party. These people were lying every day, making up stories every day to win election. Ek yo gen election, yo gouvernement yo pa hafon yin. Because Timorousa, gwo moun toujou do, eswe an yon jwen, ek ou pa travay wed pou li, ek ou pa travay honnête pou li, ou pa sa ejoui. You cannot find joy and happiness in it because you did it wrong. And the Labour Party won the election by lying to the people of St. Lucia, creating stories. Y'all call Alan a white man. Alan don't care about St. Lucia. All these kind of emotions y'all invoked in people. Put white versus black. Depuis que you set this in white versus black. Y'all did all these kind of things. Exaggerate everything pour organ election. Ex still pas hadou bout mati. Zo pas hadou bout mati. Guys, if you sign an agreement that said that, you have to come out to the public, Mr. Prime Minister, and say, this is what I signed, and this is why I signed it, and justify to the people, this is why I signed it. No need to lie. Some people will believe you, some people will not, some people will like your decision, some people will not. But you have to stand up as a man for your decisions that you make, Andre. Don't you agree?
Of course.
I signed it, this is what I did, I am the Prime Minister, and this is why I did it. You give your justification. Let the people decide. But don't stand up in Parliament and still spewing that same lie and saying that the cost of the thing is $164 million. When we got, here's the facts, and again, I'm saying to you, we got a copy of the list. How can you make quarterly payments of 19.1 million for the next 2 years, and it's 100 for the next 12 years, and it's 100 and thing. Calculate it yourself, people. Calculate it yourself. Over the 12 years, the government of St. Lucia will pay $292,509.312. That's what the calculation amounts to. And the monthly rental works out to be $16.07 per square feet. And Mr. Philip J. Pierre, as we get ready to end, I can say to you, I have a copy of the lease agreement. When me money anote do note any copy of GPHD la. Ekwa le media. Le yo mo do come la ha. GPH ka he no di ukay bayo, ukay di ou pa changer. $1. We have the copy. Existe toujours pe bouche ou pa di rien. I want you to apologize to the people of St. Lucia and say, sorry, I misspoke. When me money over this pronounce amortization, na, Dio misspoke me money. That is the wrong information they give you if it's somebody that give it to you. But I know that normally you sign, but it's not you signing the list. It was Mr. Hilaire who signed the list, which is Ernest's brother at Economic Development. He's the PS. So maybe that's what the error is. But do not allow them to continue to feed you wrong information. First, you'll treat Pau, Mr. Prime Minister. I got the agreement. It can never amount to $164 million. This is what I want to say to you today, St. Lucia. As I end, I want to say to this government, I will continue to advocate when I hear you say something that I think is not true, something that is wrong. Andre, I will do my research. I will come on this radio station. I will go on television. I will call the talk show host, but I will start calling you all out for your lies and propaganda that you all want to perpetuate on St. Lucians, thinking that we're still stupid, thinking that we don't read, we don't write, and we don't understand. Nou ha wè sa zo fè zo, nou a selko. Nou pakay point deku ek nou pakay point tuako. St. Lucia, like I said, Andre needs to have cricket at 10:30 this morning. It's 10:15, and we really need to wrap up the program. I am so sorry that I got here late. As I said, I had car trouble. Now my husband texting me, messaging me. So that wasn't too good today, but I had to try and give him the information to get the vehicle fixed. However, I'm grateful to God. I got a friend who came and I said, listen, I need a ride. I'm going to leave the vehicle. He brought me here. So after the show is over, I'm going to have to get another ride, Andre. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But I thought it was very important to be here with you this morning. I could have said to Andre, you know what? Cancel the show today. I can't make it. Let me stay and fix this vehicle, etc., etc. But I made the sacrifice to leave the vehicle, allow it to be fixed by somebody else so I could be here with you today to at least share with you those two critical points. I thought it was very important to show what they've been saying about DSH Sapavwe and to show that the Prime Minister has an obligation and a responsibility to set the example and to be truthful to this nation with that GPH deal. Enjoy your weekend. Those of you who might be, is there cricket on the weekend in St. Lucia as well?
Not too sure as yet.
Okay, but if there is cricket or whatever activities you participate in, be safe, St. Lucia. And remember, Meet the Opposition is there to open your eyes. Merci, near bon weekend. Goodbye.
Thank you very much, Nancy Charles, the host of Meet the Opposition, heard on Rev Up St. Lucia Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. But today we have cricket coming up at 10:30, so we have to cut things a little short. So we apologize for that. Hopefully everything should be back to normal next week, Thursday. It's now 10:15 in St. Lucia. Again, we're standing by now to bring you the match, Afghanistan versus India. That's coming up at 10:30 this morning. And tonight is going to be Australia versus Bangladesh being played in Antigua. So stay tuned for the match, Afghanistan versus India being played in Barbados. That's coming up at 10:30. This is where I make my exit. Tony Paul will be here with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. From 3 o'clock, Zen the DJ. Those of you on Facebook, we'll have to say so long to you at this point in time.